Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I have Paul Old Dog New Tricks. Welcome back to my channel.
Thanks for having me, Mia.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Always a pleasure to see you.
You too. So today we will be talking about retirement here in the Philippines, since I have a lot of viewers as well who ask about the retirement here in the Philippines versus other Asian countries.
Okay.
And you're the person that comes into my mind when it comes to retirement. I mean, you've been living here in the Philippines for 6 years.
6 years, yeah.
Yes, 6 years. That's a very long time. You must have loved it here. So you've been to Thailand as well. So I'm gonna ask for a bit of comparison right there. And let me just start by asking you, like, what made you choose the Philippines over Thailand?
Good question. I actually lived in Thailand for 1 year, from 2009 to 2010.
I didn't know that.
I know, that's okay. I first visited Thailand in 2005. And in 2005, I was just invited over by a friend out of the blue. Never occurred to me to go halfway around the world at that point in my life. And that was almost 20 years ago. And I took him up on his offer. I came over to Asia, and I just fell in love with the Asian vibe, or the Asian culture, and just the way Asian countries work, as opposed to what I was accustomed to back in the States. And in 2005, I had it in my head. I said, you know what? Back then I was in my 50s. I said, this is where I'm going to land when I retire. I'm going to land in Asia. And for the longest time, I thought it was going to be Thailand. And so that was 05. 09, I went there just to hang for a year because I could, and I did. And when I left there, it was kicking and screaming, but it was time to go back home and go back to work, back to the grind. And so I did that. And let's see, what year did I retire? I think 2017. So it was 7 years later that I came over here. I had fully intended to go to Thailand all those years. And then 2 years away from retirement, I started to do the infamous Google search. Keep an open mind, right? And so top 10 places to retire, best cities to retire, how much does it cost to live here, how much does it cost to live there, and all these different countries would come up. And sort of by process of elimination, I didn't really care for Latin American countries. I'd been to Mexico, that didn't really turn me on. I looked at Thailand, but the one that kept coming up #1 all the time was the Philippines. And the reason that they gave was that they speak English here, for one, and the visa requirements are very lax. It's very easy. And I do have bittersweet memories, because it was all fun at the end of the day. But the hassle factor of the visa getting extended in Thailand. I would have to take a trip every few months to Myanmar, go across the river, pay a bribe, come back, you know, me and a bunch of other 20 dummies, you know, in the boat that didn't want to go home. And so, and then it was like go back, rinse, repeat 2 months later, you know, I had to take this goofy bus ride for 12 hours. And so that stuck in my mind. So I said, well, what the hell? I'll try the Philippines, and I'll give it 6 months. And I said, you know what? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if 6 months should be a good enough amount of time to know if I like it or if I don't. And once I'm over here in Asia, no big deal. I can always do a number of things. I can go to another Asian country, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, or I can just go home. You know, and call it a day.
Have a lot of choices.
And I could say, you know what, I tried it, it didn't work, I didn't like it. Oh well, you know, it was cool. And I had enough money to go home, and it was not like I couldn't get employed or anything if I went back, just start all over again. So that's why I chose the Philippines, was primarily, it just still offers, I think, the easiest transition for an American or a Canadian or Australian or European to just come and set up shop and be here for up to 3 years before you have to really think about it.
Yeah, because I think as far as I remember, the Thailand people, they don't really speak English, so the communication there, it's really hard.
Yeah, Thailand definitely has its pluses and it definitely has its deficits. I would say, and guys will argue with you in the comment section on this, what's new?
Yeah, what's new?
Hello, crazy people. At the end of the day, I just found it was much simpler to navigate here than there.
You can always ask the locals.
Yeah, and so yes, language was a huge barrier for me over there, unless you got into a tourist area, and you don't want to always be in the tourist area. You want to get out and about with people. Again, the visa requirements. I found the police over there to be a lot less on the up and up as they are here.
Oh.
It's a nice way of putting it, I suppose.
Okay. Okay.
And just, I have a small cold, I'm sorry. Just the actual connection with people over there, men and women, there was a little bit of a disengagement between me and the Thai people. It's like I didn't feel like I was ever going to be able to close that gap. We're here in the Philippines, it was really easy to close that gap. You can form really close friendships. You and I have known each other for over a year.
That's
We're
true.
friends,
Yeah.
right? We were friends a year ago, we're friends today, and so we don't have any agenda or anything else.
No.
But we're just hanging out today and decided to do this.
No, we're going to have a video.
I couldn't pull it off in Thailand. It's just, you know, it wasn't that pick up the phone and make it happen kind of thing that we have here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just some of your disadvantage that you got in while you were in Thailand.
Yeah.
And while here in the Philippines, you don't think about any disadvantage, do you?
Oh, a lot of disadvantages here. There's a ton of stuff
Mind telling me?
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay.
I'll make you guess.
Okay.
No, there's things that go on here that don't happen in other countries that will wear on you to some degree. I guess the primary thing is where we are at. And this is, the funny thing is that I have to temper this answer because what happens here in sleepy little Dumaguete doesn't necessarily happen in Cebu or Iloilo or Manila, where they're much more metropolitan. It's just here.
Just
all right?
here, yes.
Yeah.
Stays
we
here.
are famous for brownouts. Okay. We had 3 yesterday. And there's nothing finer than being right in the middle of an email. And all you know, you've been working on for 18 minutes, and then just have it go, goodbye.
Oops. See you later.
That was fun. I'll call that one practice. You know. And then there's the typical villains, the traffic congestion that we have here.
That's normal.
That's normal. There's the out of stock. That's typical.
Always.
The other day, my wife needed to get, I think, 10,000 pesos out of the bank, and we had to make 3 trips to 3 different ATMs. One would only give her 5,000, and they said that's it. The other one we went to was out of service, and then the third one, the line was so long we just shined it on. So it took us 3 days to get 10,000 pesos out of her ATM, and it was for somebody else. It wasn't even for her. She's like, I'm doing an awful lot of work for this person. But
oh my God.
anyway, there's that knucklehead stuff. And then I almost think that, again, here in Dumaguete, that it's kind of blown up too fast. When I got here 6 years ago, I didn't see 10% of the cars on the road that I see today.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty because I got a car. But,
Okay.
so I'm part of the problem now. But that irritated me because I could just kind of cruise and groove, and it was easy, and you could navigate, and it seemed safer and all that.
Yeah.
There were always still the dogs running out in the street and little kids, and you have to watch out for. But that would be a disadvantage. And what else? It's just really nicky-nacky stuff. I was telling you earlier, we were having a nice laugh at my expense about what I went through just to get a marriage certificate. And I said, in Vegas, you can get the whole thing done in an hour and a half. Okay.
Here in the Philippines,
it took me 4 months. Of course, it only took her a week.
Yeah.
She had to throw that at me. Mine only took a week.
It only took a week? Yeah. That's what you get if you're not a Filipino. Yeah.
And then the last thing that I think is the most damaging thing out here that I really abhor is gossip.
That's pretty normal. I'm serious.
But I think it's dangerous. I think it's
That's how
damaging.
we get news here.
I understand.
Yeah.
But I also think that it can be taken to another level, to where
It gets tampered. That's the thing.
it's like character assassination, and that's wrong.
It is.
And so it's happened to you.
Yeah.
It's happened to my wife. It's happened to probably every female
Yeah.
here. It's okay to gossip.
Especially
It's
the
okay to
bloggers.
say, hey, so-and-so had a fight the other day. Oh, really? What happened?
Yeah.
That's just kind of normal nicky-nacky stuff. But when it comes to us and what we do, or my wife and the little chickens
Yeah, the
all get
circles,
together,
yes.
the little circles,
Yeah.
that get formed. And
know.
it's one of the things where I see a similarity with you and my wife is that you don't partake
I
in all
don't-
that.
I don't
And
really.
neither does May. She's like, you know what? It's just a matter of time before I walk away and they start talking about me. And then they start texting about me.
Yeah.
And, and they're really sensitive. And then somebody's going to send her a screenshot of what
Yeah,
somebody
and then,
said.
"Hey, this is
and then
what
she's
we're
going to be
talking
like,
about."
oh, really? I'm like, I'm sitting at home like a dummy. And like, everything's fine. And then she looks at her phone and she just goes into the bedroom. I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. I'm just sitting here with the dog. You okay in there, baby?
Oh my god.
So-
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Do you get it?
I get it.
Okay.
They send me a screenshot and say, this is what we're talking
Yeah,
about
this
you.
is what
And then,
so-and-so said.
Oh my god. And then, before you know, I'm crying like,
I know.
I didn't even do that.
I know. And 90% of the time, you didn't do it.
Yeah.
It's just a lie.
It gets tampered
it's
from
out
one
of.
person to another.
It goes
different
from
news.
And it's created from its genesis is jealousy,
Yeah.
envy,
Insecurity.
and too much time on their hands, nothing to do. And you Filipinos love your drama. Freaking drama queens.
Well, we love
Well, you're
the
the
drama of other
exception.
people.
Okay, you're the exception.
We love the drama of other people, but we don't want the drama for ourselves.
No.
No, we just love to listen.
You just like to inflict damage.
Yeah, and you know that here in the Philippines, if you do gossiping, you can actually sue that person.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll do that someday.
Okay.
Someday.
All right. Well, let me give you the name of my lawyer right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna call for you. But yeah, there's a lot of different disadvantages and advantages here in the Philippines and in Thailand. I mean, every country has.
Have you been to
right?
Thailand? I know you went to Kuala Lumpur.
No, I was thinking of going there,
Okay.
but
How did you like Kuala Lumpur, if you don't mind me asking? Because we're thinking about going.
I love Kuala Lumpur. I would love to stay there.
Really?
If I could live there, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really? That's interesting.
I've been there for a week, and I've loved it.
Can I tell you a secret? It's not really a secret. I've said
Sure.
it before.
It's not gonna be a secret anymore.
When I took May over to Thailand, she said, I want to live here.
Wow.
I said, why? And she said, the freedom.
Yeah.
That primarily it was the fact that nobody knew who she was, so she was anonymous again. She loved the food. She loved the culture. She loved the freedom that she had. She could walk down the beach in one of her little bikinis, and nobody was taking pictures of her or talking or
Yeah,
even
and in
looking.
the internet,
it was
yeah.
just like everybody was cool. We're
Yeah,
here.
that's
She
your
did that.
business. I
She
mind
has
my
to be
own.
really guarded about her appearance and all that kind of stuff and what people are going to say. So she loved it. And if I said, you know what, let's go and hang out in Thailand for the rest of our lives, she'd go, okay.
Yeah, that's what I like too. You know, like I was thinking, I asked my husband about it, Paul, and we're supposed to meet there this month, but it got canceled.
Okay.
So we're supposed to meet there and stay there for a month or so because I told him I really love Malaysia, and I want to stay in Malaysia and just be free from people of the Philippines, where the people there, they just don't mind you. They're like, that's your business and I mind my own business. I don't think about you and we don't think about each other. So while here in the Philippines, that's really the disadvantage here in the Philippines. Like once you see a girl with a foreigner with a Filipina, they start gossiping.
Right.
They start talking about like, oh, look at her. Maybe she's just with her because of his money.
Right.
And when a foreigner goes to the ATM and the Filipina is with, they're like, okay, yeah, she's just with him because of money. Like, oh my gosh, why can't you just mind your own business?
Right. Right.
And then, like here in the Philippines also, I don't know if you know about it, but wherever you go, wherever you drive, you see a lot of potholes and bumps, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
That's another disadvantage here.
Yes.
And I don't know about Thailand.
Infrastructure in Thailand was just rock star. That was
really?
Yeah, oh yeah. And again, what I hated about it was you had to drive on the left-hand side of the road. Okay. So that was like a mind bender. Probably being 68 years old, driving on the left-hand side, asking your Filipina for directions when she can't read the sign. It was really fun.
I think it's that way.
Sorry, that's what I said all day while I was driving. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, I forgot the question. In Thailand, infrastructure.
Infrastructure, yes.
Infrastructure was, again,
super. Is it?
It was, watching it through May's eyes was really fun. And she'd never seen anything like that before. The roads were perfectly smooth.
Wow.
If there was a landslide, which there was when we were there was a big typhoon thing that came through. They had big heavy equipment out there. They were busting a move. They were making it right. The internet never went down. We had a brownout that lasted for like 3 seconds because we were under torrential rain. But bang, it was back up. There were street lights. When one street got flooded, the rain was so bad while we were there. One street got so badly flooded that there were cops with cars and lights, and they were redirecting everybody and keeping everything flowing, everything moving and grooving. And the food choices were off the hook. And we would go to places that were sort of touristy. We would go to the expensive, quasi-expensive places, the franchises for a $10 hamburger or something like that. And we would do that, and of course it was delicious and fun and all that. But May discovered that she could eat for the equivalent of $1, and the food was 3 or 4 times the quality of what she found here. The first morning that we were in Bangkok, while we were waiting to go to Phuket, the hotel offered a buffet, and it was a great buffet. But and I knew she wasn't just saying it, man, because I could tell by her face. I've been with her for over 4 years, But she had some mango. She had what was familiar. She took some mango. She took some rice. She took some of this. She took some of that. She wasn't getting very experimental when she was first there. But the minute she took a bite out of that mango, she looked at me and went, I didn't know mango could taste so good. And then she said,
really?
And then she took a bite of rice and she goes,
that is so cute.
But it's just the flavor, she goes, I didn't know rice tasted this good. And she goes, and then she said, I love buffets. It was going up and down that friggin' aisle for an hour. Is there a limit to this? No. Oh, great.
I could do that.
Yeah. So I'm thinking along your lines is that we're going to do a little exit deal just for my visa and for get another stamp in her passport and all this hoo-ha. And we're going to do KL, Kuala Lumpur. And we're going to do it for 2 or 3 days,
Yeah.
and just sort of snoop around and come back, because then it's mission accomplished. And then we've got decisions to make. Do we want to go here? We want to travel. And I also want to check out some other islands. We did a real short trip to Iloilo. We liked it, but it needs more time. In other words, it's so big, and we were there such a short period of time. We really need to go there for a week and check it out. And graciously, a couple of YouTube guys over there said, hey, come stay with us, or we'll take you around in our car and show you the city and make life easy for you. So that was fun.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, so we'll do that. But there is a very good possibility that her and I, if we like Kuala Lumpur, and if the economics of it makes sense, and we both like the vibe, and we both like the people, and we can find a nice place to stay in, and we feel safe, just like we do here, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm out here.
Yeah, but nothing's forever. I mean,
That's true.
it's a 3-hour drive, a 4-hour flight. So, okay, we go live there for 6 months, and then she gets, lonesome for her father or her mother or her family. Okay, no big deal.
Yeah.
We'll go back. We'll hang out for a couple months, and then try something new.
Yeah.
I didn't land here with my feet in the cement. It's like I can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question in mind that, I don't know, like you're a man, okay, you're still a man. I know that you love your wife.
Yeah.
And you're married already,
Yeah.
but I want to ask you this. Like, which country has the cuter girls? Is it the Thailand or the Philippines? It's just for my viewers this time.
That's a fair question. That's a fair question. They both have, and that's a tough question, but it's an excellent question.
Okay.
I guess if you put a gun to my head, I would say Thai women.
I'm gonna put a gun on. I'm gonna put a gun behind you now. Okay. So,
I would say Thailand. I really would. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's just a look that they have that is, but again, it's hard for me to go back and forth because Filipina has the Filipina beauty too.
we have the
And
exotic.
it's like, I also, it kind of depends on where I'm standing and where I'm at, because you can go to Korea and there's just awesome looking Korean women.
That's true.
Japanese women, American women.
Yeah.
I mean, they all have their own beauty. And so men being visual, and being the dogs that we are.
That's true.
A beautiful woman's a beautiful woman at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I guess if I was just to put it to, I think Thai women would edge them out just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But you don't get confused whenever you met a girl in Thailand and maybe you think that, oh, that's a lady boy.
For me, when I first went there in 2005, I was completely fooled. Completely fooled. I didn't even know what a ladyboy was. I mean, that's how naive I was. Yeah, I mean, I knew that transgender people existed, but I would, because the ladyboys over there are just 10s, on a scale of 1 to 10, they get hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of work done to them, and they are the most beautiful women on the planet.
I know, right?
Right?
It's so unfair.
I know. It's like,
It is really unfair.
It's like, I better not start drinking tonight because I might compromise.
You might end up somewhere.
I'm open-minded. Hey.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh my god.
We're both sweating.
Oh god. But yeah, like when I saw a lot of these photos on Facebook, especially the lady boys in Thailand, I was like, oh my god, is that a girl or a boy? And I'm like, oh, that's a boy, and it really looks like a girl.
It's
like much beautiful than any other girls.
Absolutely.
Like they have to alter something in their face.
I don't know how they do it, man. And there was once this famous little thing on Facebook years and years and years ago that I saw, and it had a picture of 10 women. And it said, pick out the 5 lady boys.
Oh.
And I stared at it, forever. And I said, okay,
can't
that one,
figure that
that
one
one,
out.
that one, that one, that one. And then you scrolled up and said, they're all lady boys.
I knew it. I have an answer.
Did you see that?
Yeah. I have answered in my mind already. Like,
But you can't say that about the Philippines.
No.
Over here, they got hoofs on them.
It's pretty distinguishable.
When they're wearing.
You can distinguish it.
Yeah, they got size 11 foot. Hang on, these big ass hands.
Very muscular legs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can really see that here.
Yeah, they don't pull it off quite as well over here. Doesn't take too long.
Oh my god. Anyways, we really had a good laugh.
Why not?
Yeah.
Huh?
We're just enjoying.
Every day you should just have a good laugh, enjoy life,
That's true.
right?
That's true. So, well, do you want to add up any more? Anything else? You want to say something about the Philippines versus Thailand?
Philippines versus Thailand. I think that they're both lovely countries. I think they both have their pluses and their minuses. I think that in the Philippines, to be quite honest with you, just to sum it up, the women are beautiful, of course.
Yeah.
The people are, if I was going to put a cherry on top, I would say the people in the Philippines are head and shoulders above people anywhere else on the planet, not just Thailand. I was driving here, and we had torrential rains, and we were going through flood water. And I was going through this low-lying area on the way out here today, where a lot of really poor people live, and their homes were being flooded, and they were sweeping out, and they were laughing, and they were just like,
Just living the life.
This is part of life, we're just going to have to do this today. And I don't think you can see that anywhere else on the planet.
No.
Where people deal with so much adversity and so many challenges and so many shortcomings, and yet they do it with a smile. And I've yet to meet an angry Filipino or Filipino. Well, a lot of angry foreigners, but I have yet to meet someone that has been outright angry. Maybe they feel it inside, but they never show it.
No, we
and
don't.
I've always done my level best to be as respectful and as polite. And I told you about my trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
I never raised my voice. I never got angry. I just, a long time ago, I came to the conclusion that I'm either going to accept this or I'm not.
Yeah.
And when you come to a level of acceptance of the Philippines, it makes your life a lot easier. I can leave my house today and say, okay, I've got 5 things to do. And if I come home after 4 hours and got none of them done, for one reason or another, I just accept it. And it doesn't ruin my day. It doesn't put me,
In a
crash
bad
me.
mood, yeah.
No, it's just like, oh well, no one died. I didn't fall off my scooter. Everybody's still got nourishment. We're all sitting up inhaling oxygen. So how bad can it be?
Yeah, that's
We'll try again tomorrow.
Do it again.
So I would say number one, the Philippines is the bottom line is the people.
Yeah, I can totally agree with you. But for us Filipinos, it gets frustrating at some point when it comes to patience.
Now, that's a good. I do have a question. Do you get frustrated with what I get frustrated with? When you go into a store and you try to buy a box of ABC, whatever it might be, and they say, "Sorry, Mom, it's out of stock." Does that get you mad?
Well, no, but I was thinking well, maybe they're out of stock, but I can just always go somewhere else. But what really gets me frustrated is that when you go from one line and then you have to go to this other line to buy something, and then you have to go to a separate line to purchase something.
Yes.
Especially the tickets,
Yes.
right? When you go from one place to another, you have to buy tickets here, and you have to buy this parking fee, whatever.
Yes.
And then you have to get this fee that you have to pay.
You ever go on the ferry?
Yes. I'm talking about the ferry.
You're talking about the ferry? I figured. Try putting a car on one. Well, that was fun. You can add 3 more steps to what you just mentioned when you're trying to put your car on there.
That's an advantage.
Oh, man. Yeah, you know, you'd think that you could go up to the ticket booth and say, how much? And they would say this much. And that includes the port fee and the parking fee and this fee and that fee. And you're done with it. But no, here you got to go, blah, 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 blah. What about when you're in line and someone cuts in front of you?
Oh my God, I'm going to get frustrated. Because what if that has a long line and somebody just got me in? I'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I'm standing here for hours, you know, you can't just cut in.
Well, I'm talking about like 7-Eleven. Have you ever had that happen to you?
Oh, yes. We had to stay outside.
I was at 7-Eleven, and I've been to the same 7-Eleven in Valencia 100 times. And I've had people, or I've had little kids come in front of me, because I always try to give space to the person. I don't want to be right on top of them, you know, while they're buying their stuff. So I kind of keep a distance from them, and I'm holding all this stuff. It's pretty obvious that I'm queued up, and then someone will just shoot in on me. And the only time I reacted was I was at a 7-Eleven across from Hypermart, and I was just coming up to the counter, and a foreigner, not a Filipino, set down his stuff, like some bottles of beer or something like that, and was making his way to get in front of me. And I never looked at him, but I just put my arm out and I pushed the beer or whatever he put right back at him and just continued up with my purchase. And I never looked at him. He never said a word. And I just turned on, and I saw him out of the corner of my eye, and I knew it was a white boy. And I said, well, I'm not going to put up with this. Yeah. So that was the only time that
Oh my God. I can't. But
that's when it really got to me. Because see, a Filipino or a Filipina can do that because it's just part of the culture, you know. And but for a foreigner to do it, now you're on my turf, pal. We're not going to do that today. I'm just going to go ahead and get that right back at you.
Yeah. I don't know if ever I encounter that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I can't even look at the person and just look at him and just, okay, you do you, I'll just wait.
Sure.
I can't do that.
So I'm fascinated by the fact, and I hope you follow up on this, about your feelings about Kuala Lumpur. And are you going to now, well, I'll leave it for you to maybe do a video about it, of course. I don't want to steal your thunder here. But maybe you and Paul meet in Kuala Lumpur, or are you still plan on meeting in Thailand, or how's that going to work?
Well, we decided to just keep it a secret, but I'm gonna say it to you later, outside, when there's no camera.
Great. And then after you tell me your secret, I'll make a video about all of her secrets.
No, no. I'm gonna go to Sikihar and just do those voodoo. This guy just...
I got a bestseller coming up. Stay tuned.
No.
I don't blame you for keeping it secret.
Yeah, but... Well, I think we just laughed too much. And you're actually gonna make a video.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Paul,
My pleasure.
for an amazing interview that we did, and we're gonna do it all over again.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So we will see you again next time. Thank you all for watching.
Thanks for tuning in.